I'm Bob Stonehill with the TIF TA team, and I'm here today with Vicky Condalary from NIET in Louisiana. So Vicky, hi. Tell us about your TIF 5 project. What do you want to accomplish?
Yeah, so very excited about our project. We're wanting to accomplish, our main thing is to increase educator effectiveness and principal effectiveness, and increase student achievement, of course, looking at increasing by at least a year's growth for our students in the project. We have 12 LEAs that we're working with throughout Louisiana, 6 that are in traditional type districts, and then we have 6 that are in public charters and located throughout the region of Louisiana. And we're very excited about that because the grant will impact 89 schools, and also it will impact about 2,500 teachers and over 33,000 students. So we are super excited about implementing this grant.
Is there anything new you're trying here? Any innovative practices you want to roll out?
Yeah, so some of the things that we're going to be working on in the grant, we're really building it around educator effectiveness, and with that we're implementing the NIT TAP evaluation system, which measures the quality of instruction and bringing those standards to teachers. That's going to be really impactful in the grant. In addition, we're providing our schools with structures that are going to help them to have ongoing applied professional development. We have a lot of decades of research that really shows that that impacts significantly. So we'll be providing that ongoing applied professional development through our cluster meetings and making sure that our students their needs are being met along with the teacher needs that will be based back on those TAP teaching standards that we're utilizing.
Right. So you mentioned this is across both parishes, districts, and charters.
Yeah.
So what specifically about this program is set up for the Louisiana context?
So, you know, we're in our highest need schools, and so we have to get in there and help our schools to really reform and put in some structures, working closely with district leaders to get them on board with us, doing extensive training of them, as well as with our principals that are on the ground day in and day out providing that support, really tailoring it and customizing it for the needs specific to our Louisiana districts and schools.
So the program is new, TIF 5 is still new, right?
Yes,
but
absolutely.
You're working hard. What are you going to have done already by, let's say, the end of the first year?
So, we've been busy, you know. Some of the things that we've been working on, of course, is our logic model, making sure that we have all of our strategic planning in place, because that's critical. And part of that is sharing that with our partners, because we want to make sure we have all the stakeholders involved in that planning piece to really see where we're going. So we've got that underway, and we're having those visits now. We're conducting those, making sure everyone's on board. We've done pre-assessments in those schools, and we've gone in and we have senior program specialists that are already on the ground visiting the schools. And we're kind of assessing kind of where they're at right now in each of the schools and sharing that information with district leaders so that we have a strategic support plan in place. We've also been conducting massive amounts of training, our core training, to get our leadership teams. That's our teacher leaders that have been strategically hired and put in place, which we assisted with, and our administrators trained up.
What surprised you, if anything?
You know, I'm so glad you asked that, because it, you know, in having implemented, you know, the system in different places, this one is unique in the sense of, you know, we're really looking at sustainability on the front end and having some really strategic conversations around, you know, how is this going to look and sound? What can you afford to continue to do beyond the life of the grant? Let's look at your funding sources. And what's interesting to me in these conversations, it's got that buy-in at a strong level with those district folks, with those leaders. It's amazing to me to see they're coming to our core trainings. They're having conversations about how they're going to partner with us to support each of the schools, which is really kind of a unique thing, because usually we don't see that level of engagement so early. And I think with the way that TIF 5 is constructed, you know, so we're constantly thinking about sustaining this beyond, you know, the funding that TIF 5 provides, so that we're sure that these best practices will continue in these schools. Districts are on board because we now all have skin in the game. And so we really are a family, a TIF family, because we all are trying to improve together.
Well, this is great. Well, thanks for sharing your early experiences here, and we'll keep watching as the program unfolds.
Yeah.